Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. My friends, something massive has happened on the face of the earth. Something massive happened in South Asia, in a country called Bangladesh. Now, if you look at Bangladesh on a map, if you take the map of the world and you look at the map, then you're going to see a very small piece of land in South Asia. That's the country called Bangladesh. That's the country where I was born and raised. But if you look at the size of the population of Bangladesh, then you are going to find out that it's a massive population. The country may be geographically small, but the population is huge. More than 170 million people estimated. So something massive happened in Bangladesh. Up until a couple days ago, the Awami League government was in power. The Awami League government, led by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, they were in power, and the government forces used violence, and the government forces killed many unarmed civilians. So a massive tragedy took place in Bangladesh over a period of few weeks. I mean, the Awami League government has been engaging in lawless activities for a very, very long time. They have been in power for a decade and a half. In fact, more than 15 years. But in the last few weeks, the world saw how brutal the Awami League regime could be. The government forces, they have all the weapons. It's in past tense now because the Awami League government is no longer in power. When the government was in power, when Awami League, the political party, was in government and in power, they had all the weapons. The civilians did not. So the tyrannical government used the weapons to kill unarmed civilians. This is extreme brutality, extreme brutality. The students demanded, the Bangladeshi students, they demanded fairness and justice. It started as a movement for a fair quota system for public sector jobs in Bangladesh. The students were demanding a fair quota system for public sector jobs. But then the movement became bigger, and then it became a fight against discrimination. And then the entire country joined the students in the movement, and it became a massive movement to oust the Awami League government and to remove Sheikh Hasina, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, from power. The Awami League government was in power for many years, and the members of parliament from the Awami League, the ministers and all the bureaucrats, they all started thinking that they're invincible. The Awami League politicians, they started thinking that they can do whatever they want without any consequences. And that's exactly what they did. The Awami League government, extremely corrupt. I really have no words to describe the level of corruption that they engaged in. The level of brutality, the kind of violence that they could engage in. Violent people, highly corrupt. They thought that they can do whatever they want and there will be no consequences. That's what they thought. In fact, the Awami League, in all these years, they put massive numbers of their political supporters in the bureaucracy. Public sector jobs are supposed to be, jobs in which people serve the public. And the process of getting public sector jobs, it should be merit-based. And over the years, the Awami League government created a massive administration full of Awami League activists and goons. So instead of having a fair process, the Awami League, they used their power to put all their supporters, the henchmen, the goons, in public sector jobs. And that's how they created a very corrupt administration. A massive bureaucracy full of corrupt people. And that bureaucracy ruled each and every aspect of the lives of the Bangladeshi people. Public service means that government officials work for the people. They must be devoted public servants to do the best that they can to serve the people. But in Bangladesh, under Awami League rule, there was widespread corruption. And as I said, the Awami League is violent. The police force and the Awami League government's Rapid Action Battalion used violence against those who criticized the government. No freedom of speech. People were arrested unlawfully. People went missing after being arrested. People were killed. And the government also tied people up in lawsuits. And that's also a form of imprisonment. If the government uses its power to get people stuck in legal cases, and if people have to appear in court for hearings after hearings after hearings, that can make a person's life miserable. And that's what the Awami League government did. They used the judicial system to go after the political opponents. They weaponized the judicial system to suppress and to try to eliminate political opposition. But things have changed now. Things have changed. After a massive revolt, after a massive uprising of the students, and then a massive uprising of the students and the rest of the country. Country full of freedom-loving people. And that's how the Awami League government's rule came to an end. And now, for the people of Bangladesh, there's hope for a better future. Reportedly, a new government will be formed. Sheikh Hasina, she stepped down from power. She got into a helicopter and onto a plane, and she left the country. She fled. She fled. Reportedly, a new government will be formed. The group of freedom fighters who led this massive uprising, they had a meeting with the president of the country, along with some other very prominent individuals, and I think we will find out more in the next 24 hours. But the student leaders who made it happen, who made this movement possible, they have asked Dr. Muhammad Yunus to be the head of the new government. Dr. Yunus is the Nobel Prize winning scholar from Bangladesh. He's an economist, he's a leader, and he's definitely an inspiration for the younger generation. He has been asked to lead the new government. And in matter of hours, I'm guessing, in matter of hours, we'll know the names of others who will lead the different departments and the agencies. It's amazing. It's amazing to see, in matter of weeks, how the corrupt government, the Awami League government, their rule came to an end, and how the country is heading towards a bright new day. It's a country in which I was born and raised. It's unbelievable. I still have to ask myself, is this really happening? Is it a dream or is it reality? The fact that this is the second birth of Bangladesh. Bangladesh was born in 1971. In 1971, the country was born. And this is the rebirth of the country. The country gained independence for the second time in more than 52 years. My friends, the new independence did not come easily. It happened after tremendous bloodshed, tremendous tragedy. That's what the country went through in the last few weeks. Tremendous bloodshed in the last few weeks. Lots and lots and lots of lives lost. Many people dead. Many people dead on the streets, on the roads. Many innocent lives have been lost. And many people lost their limbs. Many have been severely, gravely injured and wounded. Many are in hospitals. They are suffering. Sound grenades and tear gas and snipers firing from helicopters and armored vehicles on the streets of Dhaka and block raids and shotguns and rifles and much more. Lots of violence and many lives lost. It's a tragedy that the people of Bangladesh will never forget. The Awami League government and its armed forces used tremendous violence on the civilian population, and yet the students and the general public won. The freedom-loving Bangladeshis won. They are victorious after tremendous tragedy, great tragedy that the people of Bangladesh will never forget. I know how much the people of Bangladesh wanted to have a society in which they can speak freely, and now it is possible for the Bangladeshis to establish such a society. There was a revolution. This was a revolution led by the students, a revolution that wiped out the corrupt Awami League regime. And now there's an opportunity to establish a sound government, to establish a government that is not corrupt, that's not going to be corrupt, to establish a government with officials who will be public servants, who will serve the people. A government of the people, for the people, and by the people. There are many lessons to learn from what happened in Bangladesh. The power of the people is greater than the power of firearms and weapons. Following Sheikh Hasina's escape from Bangladesh, and she is a brutal tyrant. She's a tyrant who is no longer in power. She fled the country. Following her escape from Bangladesh, the country continues to see police stations and Awami League offices and Awami League politicians' homes and other government offices being burned. But the student leaders are saying that there must be no destruction of property. The student leaders, they are peaceful. They want peace. They want stability in the country. And they are saying, no destruction of property. Don't destroy property. They are speaking out against any kind of vandalism, any kind of property destruction. They want to see a peaceful country. They want to see a peaceful path towards prosperity. Obviously, there are many people in Bangladesh who are angry, who have years of pent-up anger because of all the injustice that they faced. But it's important to be calm. It's important to be constructive. What's wonderful to see is that there are so many students, so many people from the younger generation. They are volunteering. They are cleaning the streets. They are cleaning the roads. Many students who are volunteering to protect places of worship. There are many people who are ensuring public safety. This is collective action. Collectively, the people of Bangladesh, the younger generation in particular, they are doing things to make Bangladesh a great place. After years and years and years of struggle and challenges, finally the people of Bangladesh are ready to move forward towards a better future and to establish a sound government that is going to serve the people. As I said, in the next 24 hours, we will know more. I'm paying attention, and I'm eagerly waiting to see what the people of Bangladesh do. And truly, the world is paying attention. The world is watching how this very small South Asian country with an enormous population, how they are fighting injustice, how they are fighting corruption, how they are fighting tyranny, and they are winning, how the people are winning and moving towards a better future. It is important for the whole world to watch what's happening in Bangladesh and to see how brave, how courageous, how wonderful the younger generation is. My friends, thank you for continuing to listen to my podcast. Please share with me your thoughts. Please let me know if you have any comments, if you have any questions. Go to my website, tosifanam.net. If you want to email me, my email address is tosif@tosifanam.net. Thank you once again, my friends, for continuing to listen to my podcast. And I hope to be back again soon with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam.